Hello, this is V. Come on in. I want to share a vitamin with you today. I think I'm going to call it my Mother's Day vitamin. And I posted something today, and it said that Mother's Day without your mom is a hard pill to swallow. And I got quite a few responses from those of us who are in that boat where this holiday is approaching. We have mixed emotions and we are trying to navigate these murky waters, as I like to say. And so, as I contemplated on sharing about this, I thought of some things that just might help you. They certainly have helped me over the years. I remember exactly where I was when I got the news that my mother had left us. It was actually it was August 1st, 2016. And my world shattered. It has not been right since that day. I had no idea the devastation that would occur because we don't know how we're going to deal with or cope with what we've never experienced. And each death is a beast of its own. The loss of a father is different. The loss of grandparents, siblings, they're all different. But the loss of a mom really rocked my world, turned it upside down. So I'm going to share a few things with you. And one of the things that I would like to share is a song. And I found this song years ago. It's by a group that I really love. And I'm going to try and do it. But listen to the words because that's what's most important. And it says, I have seen a rainbow circle across the sky. I have stood on a mountain and watched an eagle fly. I have seen trees in a meadow shelter a morning dove, but I haven't seen anything to match the wonders of a mother's love. The next verse says, I've seen a sunset more beautiful than gold, and I have stood by a rose bed and watched the leaves unfold. I have seen so many wonders and blessings from above, but I haven't seen anything to ever match the wonders of a mother's love. Interestingly enough, it doesn't really matter what your relationship was with your mother, whether it was a great one, a strained one, indifferent. There's something about that loss that changes you. And so one of the things that happened when I lost my mother was the beginning of the school year, and I went back to work. The tears flowed all day, every day. I was able to control them somewhat. It was devastating. My world was shaken. just almost incomprehensible. I would be driving home and I would have to pull over and just sit in the car and cry. The tears would just flow. They'd sneak up on me when I least expected it, and it was difficult. And I really believe that the Lord allowed me to get hurt on my job, and I was able to come home. And I will say this, and a lot of times we resist what I'm about to say, but hear me out. I was connected with an awesome therapist, partly to deal with the trauma of the injury that I sustained, but I knew that it was more than that. It was really to deal with the trauma of losing my mother. I'm the middle child. I have an older brother and a younger sister, and we're 1 year apart. And so I was in the middle, and I've always been a mediator, never liked to fight or anything like that. I always wanted to keep the peace. And so that's what I did in that relationship with my siblings. But with my mother, we had a very close relationship, and then it wasn't as close. When you grow up and become an adult, you're trying to establish who you are. And so as the dynamics changed, the love never faltered, never failed. I was never disrespectful to her by word or deed. And that was important to me because I wanted to please her. And she said that I did. So I'm glad that I have that. And so therapy for me was a godsend. I was able to express myself, and I was able to share. And so I'm going to talk about some things that you can do, specifically with the loss of a mother. The first Mother's Day, every first, is extremely difficult. If this is your first time this Mother's Day, everything is difficult. Take the words that I'm saying, although I've been counseled, take them and tailor them to your specific needs and your personality. But if I could say anything that would last and resonate with you, therapy. It was therapy for me, 100% therapy. And it was prayer. A lot of times we want to ignore prayer, never. And most of the time, we don't want to deal with therapy. But the two worked for me. And so I prayed a lot, I cried a lot, but I went to therapy every week. And I'm grateful for my therapist. Truly a godsend. So one of the things that therapists advised and mine did was to feel the feelings or let yourself feel nothing. So my first Mother's Day, I refused to feel anything. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to hear anyone say Happy Mother's Day because it was not a happy day. And so I locked myself in my room and I cried. I cried. And then there was a knock on the door. It was my two children. And they came in with a bouquet of flowers. And they comforted me first. And then they said, Mom, we know this is hard for you, but you're our mother. And we want to celebrate you. And they said, you're going to get up. You're going to wash your face. You're going to take a shower. And we're going to take you to dinner because we want to celebrate you. That was difficult to do, but I did listen to them, and they did take me out. And I also was wise enough to realize that I could not be consumed in my grief or my pain and ignore their need to celebrate me. But it was difficult. And so, again, feel the feelings or feel absolutely nothing. Therapy helped me to talk about my feelings. I explored everything, the memories, the difficult times. I talked about it all, and my therapist gave me strategies on how to deal with pain, loss, triumphs, how to celebrate. This one might seem a little strange, but spend time by yourself. Over the time when my mom left, my daughter was already off to college, and my son had 2 more years at home. And then I really was by myself. But again, in our busy schedules, when you are surrounded by family um, responsibilities, take time out and just spend some time with yourself for reflection of those memories. Then spend time with others, because you need to be lifted up and you need to get out of that sadness, which turns to depression if you're not very careful. And, when you want to sleep all the time, you're overeating or you're not eating at all and you feel nervous, I would recommend professional help. Remember, if our eyes are bad, we go to the eye doctor, optometrist, ophthalmologist, and we get some help. If we're having issues with our heart, or we think we are, cardiologist, we go to whatever the specialist is, or the general practitioner, but we get that help. So do the same thing with your emotions. Get the help that you need. Here's something else that you might find a little strange, but it does happen naturally. Talk to your mom. Talk to her in your spirit. Talk to her out loud if you need to. But just talk with her. And something that's really therapeutic is writing a letter, or finding letters, in my case, that she had written to me. Finding those letters and pictures. Oh, I love pictures. So I went through all of the pictures that I could find, all of them, and cried, shared those memories again, and find a support group, one that's going to help you. If your best friend is bugging you to get out of the house to go to lunch or whatever, do so. And that's after the fact. Handle it in the best way that you feel possible, but don't get stuck. And that might be hard to hear if this is your first time having a Mother's Day without a mom. But don't get stuck in depression and grief, because we know those 5 stages: the anger, the acceptance, finally acceptance, but the withdrawal, the denial. But get some help. And one of the things that my therapist he encouraged me to do was, I called it create adventures. And so I started traveling more, and I started doing things out of my comfort zone. And with that, I began to build some happier experiences for myself. So when those times would hit me uncontrollably, where I was bogged down in the mire of grief, I would have something that I could do. So I'm grateful for friends and for family that stood by me. And I have a posse of girlfriends that have been extremely instrumental in getting me out of the house. Male friends as well, getting me out of the house. Just dinner, concert, theater. Theater really helped me because I'm a theater buff. But anyway, as you approach this Sunday, find the happy memories. If you're in that state of not being able to cope in a healthy manner, get a therapist. But give yourself grace. It is a huge loss. You never get over it. There are times, not as frequent as they used to be, because I'm growing and I've grown, but those tears will flow. It's a touch, it's a smell. My daughter bought me a bottle of perfume. My mother loved Windsong, And when I smell it, it takes me back. So I just keep the bottle. I don't spray it often. And I even gave away one of her suits that I bought her, one of the last suits that I bought her. I gave it to her sister, and she's going to wear it this Mother's Day in honor of her sister. So you're not in this alone. Get some therapy, much prayer, take yourself out, you and your husband, you and your children, create some new experiences, new adventures, and just know, despite how you're feeling, crumbling inside, it will get better. Not overnight, but it will get better. So take care. Thank you for listening. I hope that I've helped you. Make it a great day today because you can, and tomorrow will take care of itself.